Plugging in my mic. Good morning. So I am in this lovely little apartment, and there's an interesting thing that's going on. So you know that I say that everything that we experience in the outside world is a reflection of something that's going on inside of us. So I chose an apartment out of all the apartments on Airbnb. I chose the smallest apartment. I don't know if it's the smallest, but it's really small. And the toilet is outside. I didn't know that when I chose the apartment because they didn't write it. Normally people are pretty upfront, like it's a shared bathroom. But they didn't write it. But they were new to Airbnb, by the way. They weren't malicious. They're just new. They had no idea. They're really, really sweet too. They're so sweet. Really lovely, beautiful, beautiful voices, and they're two brothers from the Côte d'Ivoire, and great physical bodies, physically very striking. Like I said, beautiful voices, beautiful manner of speaking, and really, really warm. So chaleureux, they're men, chaleureux. So warm, so lovely and masculine. And the apartment is cute. Like I showed you the apartment. It's really cute, but it's really small and it's totally unorganized. There were no towels, there were no dishes, no pots and pans to cook anything. All sorts of things that were missing, but they were very sweet. I told them what was missing and they're like, "Okay, we didn't know, we're going to go get it." So they went and they got the stuff. And that's fine. The thing is, why did I choose this little apartment? Now, of course, the outside story is that I was staying with Jamie and Cyril, and they have a beautiful place, and they have lots of space. But I didn't, I need to figure out where I want to be. I need to figure out my classes that I'm going to be taking at the Sorbonne. I need to figure out my schedule. I need to figure out how I'm going to write. I need to figure out all sorts of things. And I felt a little bit too pressured to know which apartment to choose. Also, Mercury is retrograde, and investing in a long-term apartment, it just felt like it wasn't the time. So I thought, all right, I'm going to just move into something very simple, very comfortable, and I wanted it to be of good value because I wanted the feeling of not throwing money around irresponsibly. And the way I'm renting an apartment on Airbnb, people tend to overvalue their apartments. And like if it wasn't on Airbnb, it might be like I could probably get it for a few $100s less than what I'm paying on Airbnb. So the thing is, I don't mind spending $1,700 on an apartment for a month because I feel like that's like if it's a good apartment, then I feel like that's worth it. But if it's a shitty apartment, I don't feel like it's worth it. So that's my mentality. That's my mindset right now. So this apartment, by the way, is really small, but it's in a super highfalutin neighborhood. Like it's Auteuil, and it's really highfalutin. So, but this apartment is also super cheap, like even to have a shared toilet, in a nice apartment, and it's a lovely place. It's very clean, and it's cute. There's so much potential here. They're only charging like $850 a month, which I think is really, really cheap. Like, wow, what a cheap place. It's $844, and it's not even $844 because it's more than a month. It's like 33 days or something. So it's super cheap. And when I first chose it, I'm like, oh, easy, easy to do, because all I have to do is just get there and I can think about it, and, I can just hang out there and, whatever. So the thing is, the real reason I'm making this is a long start. This is a long warm up for something that's really important to me. This apartment is very small, and it's very cute, and it's very precious. And the reason I'm using these words is because this apartment is a reflection of what's going on inside of me. So the last several months, I've been really wanting to expand into a much more powerful expression of myself. I've been working on my root chakra and expanding the dragon energy that is inside of me. And dragon energy, or kundalini energy, is limitless, big, bold energy that doesn't answer to any authority. It is in itself its own authority. And since coming into this world, and as an Aquarius, I have issues with authority. Now, my issues with authority are that as I've come in being oppressed by authority, and so as a result, I rebel against authority. As a young person, that makes sense. You're expanding, you rebel, but as a mature person, you can't keep rebelling, because rebellion against authority is the total act of the oppressed. So by rebelling, you feel like you're going into your authority, but actually what you're doing when you rebel is you are moving away from your authority. So for those of us who are here on earth rebelling against authority, our job is to turn that energy around and to actually find our sense of authority within. Now, we live in a world where people express their authority by trying to overcome other areas of authority. So you're in this dialectical, relationship. Well, that leads to more oppression, because there's always someone on the bottom. But in this unity consciousness, in this Christ consciousness, there doesn't have to be one on top of the other, one dominating. Christ was in his, or its authority. Christ is a consciousness. Jesus is an expression of the Christ consciousness. Jesus was in his authority by embodying the Christ consciousness and saying, hey, I am that I am. So when he would stand in front of someone who was sick, he'd be, I am that I am, therefore you are that I am. And that was how the healing came through. That was how the miracle came through. Jesus knew that he and the leper were the same, and they were the same as God, that they were the same as Source. This is not about the Christianity hierarchy of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or the Trinity rather, not hierarchy, Trinity. It's not about that. What I'm talking about is having a true sense of source energy that is the authority, that is in every one of us in equality, not inequality, but in equality. So we're equal. Everything is balanced. We're all the same. We all have the same authority. So we call the police the authorities, and there's a certain contract, a social contract that we give over to the police in society, like, oh, you're the authorities, you're the ones in charge, you carry the gun, you wear the uniform, you have the badge, you're the authority. That's not proper. it's what we've agreed to in the social contract, but that does not mean that you have to agree to that within yourself. Yes, you can say, police, I respect you. This is a contract we have, and I'm going to offer certain deferential behavior toward you, but that does not mean that you own the being inside of me. That does not mean that I am subservient. So it's very important as individuals that we have and know and develop. Now, this is something that has to be developed and nurtured inside of us. Being an authority inside of ourselves is a relationship. It's our relationship with our God self. That is the authority. And for me, and this is a very not complicated, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's something that is vast and powerful and magnificent to articulate. So I'm not going to go into that here. I've given you a brief explanation of what's going on inside of me. I'm blossoming to my internal authority and learning how to not give over my authority to everybody all the time, and what that means for me. So when so right now it's morning. It's me doing my morning ritual of aligning with Source, aligning with God, aligning with the power inside of me. And I've been getting a tarot card called the Princess of Coins, or it's also depending on what tarot deck you use, it can also be the Page of Coins. And this archetype represents someone who is really lovely and precious and young and youthful and beautiful and sweet and warm. And they have an idea, they have a seed for an idea. You wouldn't say that they're pregnant with an idea because they're too young to be pregnant. They're instead a youthful energy that has, they're connected to the fairyland. They're connected to the other world. And they're very precious. This is a lovely way to be. This is the person who's on the beginning of a journey, and they're innocent. They have innocence about them. The problem is that I'm a woman. I'm not a child any longer. And although it's wonderful for women to have innocence and beauty and optimism and hope, I'm at the point right now where I want to be bringing that seed. I want it to grow, and I want me to grow, and I want to blossom. And actually, I want to move beyond the blossoming into the power, right? But I'm in the blossoming stage right now. That's the thing. So I'm desiring to see Crystalline show up as her divine self, like to really come in. And I know that I'm divine right now. I feel beautiful. I feel strong. I feel expansive. But I don't feel expanded. I feel like I am still becoming. And Abraham would say that that's a good thing, that you're in the place of becoming. But I am in the place of really desiring my full, like these wonderful ideas. I don't know how to explain this because I've never done this before. I've never consciously been super radiant, super powerful, and owning my shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being me in all my regalia. Like, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Like, I want that. Like Diana Ross breaking through, man. There's a new me coming out, man. That's what I'm into right now. So my tarot reading for this morning is about shifting from the little girl into the big girl. Like, not even the big girl shit. See, I'm still so wedded to being a girl. To coming into the woman, the goddess, the empress, the woman who rules all of China and who owns all of China. Like, who owns it, you know? Okay, so this is interesting. I've gotten the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles represents being someone who's working through, like if you have a block of marble and you're chiseling out the beautiful work of art that lies beneath that lies beneath. It's the thing that you have inside, and you're chipping away at the exterior to reveal the work of art underneath. Gosh, it gives me goosebumps. This is so awesome. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to tell you the meaning of the card. I think this probably has a lot to do with a lot of us. And so I'm going to share this with you fully. So the meaning of the card says, work flourishes as you build on previous efforts. This is the card of increase and craft, of the skilled use of matter and intelligence to create works of beauty and value. You may well find yourself receiving financial rewards or praise and appreciation for your efforts, which almost certainly follow a long period of apprenticeship, training, and practice. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Princess of Coins. This card, by the way, is the Three of Coins. So that Princess of Coins is like someone who's young, who's an apprentice. She's not the master. She's the apprentice. She's got these ideas and she's turning them over and she's nurturing them, and she's a hard worker. Princess of Coins is very hardworking. She's down, at her computer working, or she's in the artist's studio chiseling away. But she's not the one she's becoming the master. That's the becoming. I'm becoming the master. So powerful, so powerful. Your work may still need to be done, or improvements made, or you might even have to pass a test or prove your skill in some other way, but support and encouragement is close at hand. You are valued and appreciated, and you may find yourself drawn to improving or renovating your home. You may be asked to make use of your skills in new arenas. And this is totally what's going on. I'm really working on becoming a better writer, a better storyteller, making better videos, traveling better. Everything feels like it's getting better and better and better. But the princess aspect of myself is also wanting to transform. And right now I'm thinking about this group that I've started of women who want to travel. I feel like this is a group of women who are all princesses. They're all princesses of coins who want to grow into, who want to become the empress. The empress is, when we think about the emperor of China, we think about this little being who is at the center, but this little being, has tremendous, tremendous power. Everything that this little being says becomes real in China, and everyone answers to his every whim. Every whim is served. And that being knows who they are. They don't worry about how it's going to get done. They don't say, well, how are you going to build that temple in my honor? How are you going to get the resources? Where are you going to get the money? How is this going to happen? They don't do that. They simply sit and they think about what it is they want all the time. They're constantly focused on their desires because they're never trained to not focus on their desires. The emperor or the empress of China, I'm using this as my example because it's what's coming to me. I watched this amazing documentary on this woman. I think she's maybe one of the only empresses of China, and she rose to power. But I'm thinking about her on one side, on the left side, and then I'm thinking about on the right side the men who were born as emperors of China, how they're reared in this mentality of being the one. They're reared in the mentality of being the focus. And I'm not saying that they're all nice people. That's not the point. We need to move away from the idea of who's nice and who's not and simply focus on our desires and let the niceness be handled later. At this point, I'm saying, don't worry about whether you're nice. You're probably really nice. I know that I'm fucking really nice. I'm not worried about my morality. I'm just focused on being a fucking powerful person. I know that I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to hurt anybody. People might be hurt by me because they're intimidated by how much power I'm wielding. But I'm not going to misuse the resources of this beautiful planet. I'm not going to chop down trees. That's not a part of my paradigm. I'm not going to take anything away from this earth that's out of balance. I think most of us are afraid on the inside that that's what we're going to do, that we're going to become these overgrown megalomaniacs and harm people. We don't have to do that. So I am going to nurture my inner emperor, and I'm going to get a card on this. This is feeling really powerful for me. I'm taking a card on this, and I'm going to really focus on my inner emperor or empress. For me, the inner empress is connected in heaven above and Mother Earth below. So there's unity and there's balance between the masculine and the feminine. And there's a balance between being and doing. And the more I allow and balance between the two, the more creativity flows toward me. And the results of action, right action in the world, right action, having enough stillness inside of me, balancing that with taking action in the world. The stillness is the feminine, the action is the masculine. Balancing those two, meditation, being still, focusing on my desires, then doing the work, taking action. I got the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is this king of energy. It's masculine energy, and it's someone who's dynamic and powerful and energized and a leader, a business leader, usually some kind of an enterprise of a leadership. So it represents, so the card says it can indicate that you need to express your ideas, make important decisions, set goals, and seek a guiding vision. That's really powerful. So the King of Wands is the ideal person to be in charge of an organization. He can hold the vision and inspire others to cooperate with him with his enthusiasm and optimism. His natural ability to be a leader combined with his affinity for the element of fire and hence dragons reminds us of the Pendragon of Arthurian legend and of Druid ritual. How powerful is that? So tarot cards are a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So this meditation this morning is totally reflecting those powerful things. It's really connecting. We're very connected here, as always. Very connected. This Pendragon is this idea of having the whole dragon inside. It's the emperor inside, man. It's so cool. A person with the king's character is often lively and amusing, freedom-loving, and ambitious. So I feel like I'm lively and amusing, freedom-loving, but I don't think I'm ambitious enough, and I think that this is what I'm being called to with this card, is to understand where my ambition lies. He makes a passionate lover, but partners must be aware of his longings. I need to make that bigger. Longings for freedom. Just as fire needs air to breathe, a king of wands needs wide open spaces in his love life and in his physical surroundings. Decisive and strong-willed, he can be unsympathetic toward others' negativity or weaknesses, since he experiences these feelings so rarely. That's not me. I experience my weakness very much. But still, though, I understand this. His strong will makes him good at forging a long-term career through his dynamic nature. Dislike of routine and love of challenges will often make him eager to rush off to seek new adventures. So, why is this card coming forth for me right now? I'm feeling that this journey of expanding into my God self, expanding the God potential in all of my cells, every cell of my body, every aspect of every cell of my body expands with this God consciousness. And it's this expansion that I'm calling for. That's what it is. I'm calling in my own expansion at the cellular level, purging the stuck energy through diet, through exercise, and through mental purification. October 1st is the new moon. That's Saturday. I'm going to have a new moon. I'm going to put together a new moon ritual. I'm going to pre-record my rituals from now on, because I'm having too much issue with technology right now to do them live. So I'm going to be pre-recording, and I'm going to sit with this lovely energy, and I'm going to bring in purification for the new moon. Purification and this fire energy. It's not a great combo to bring in fire with the moon. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the light of the moon within me, and allow the fire to rise from this moonlight that comes from within, this inner intuition. Moonlight represents intuition. So the vessel is emptying, right? The moon is now empty. So we now have a dark moon, which is dark. We have just a little tiny sliver of moonlight. Our jobs is to fill ourselves with what we desire. So actually, I feel like it would be appropriate to bring in some fire energy right now. And I'm going to bring in ambition, like really shooting for the stars, choosing big ideas, opening myself to big ideas. And I'm taking one more card because I feel like there's some goddess energy that will be helpful. Yesterday, as I was awakening to this energy of the Princess of Coins, I was awakening to what I was doing there. Had a beautiful card come forth, a goddess that came forth called Aracura. And she represented this kind of blossoming energy, and she's saying, you're becoming. That's great. It felt right. But now there's this idea of a drive that I'm looking for, and I want to awaken that goddess energy of being driven. And the goddess that's coming forth is Artemis, which is actually my patron goddess. Artemis represents the she's the goddess with the bow and arrow, and she's the protector of animals, and she's in the forest. She's very natural, and she's actually my patron goddess. And she is. This is so fucking amazing. Oh my God, I realize what I'm saying. So my energy, my soul energy is Artemis. So the way I'm going to say this is that, like, if your soul had one way, if you wanted to describe your soul in one word, it might be an archetype. You might find it within the tarot archetype. You might find it in the Devic region. You might find, like in the gods or goddesses, you might find it in the elemental region, meaning fairies, gnomes, any of the elementals. So earth fairies, earth, air, fire, or water. So mermaids, sylphs, flying fairies, gnomes, or salamanders, dragon energy, right? My soul is Devic, like the energy is more Devic in nature, and it's associated with Artemis, which is about this tremendous focus, having tremendous focus, and being a protector, being but not protecting with force, protecting with light, protecting with a focus, being protected in a focus. Very powerful, this reading, because the whole point is that I want to become more of myself. I want to step into my Pendragon, my authority, my energy. And I feel like the key to that is to be in touch with my soul. So this Artemis card is coming up because she's basically saying, listen to your soul, which means I have to get silent, I have to get quiet, and I have to not run away from me. I have to be me. I signed up for this modern day icon course, which is saying that, the course is helping us to be more of ourselves. So this sounds really perfect. So the message from Artemis is, like me, you have a sacred mission to spread love and light. Yet this isn't a position that comes from tension or worry. Instead, the gentle essence of a joyful heart and light-hearted laughter sets your power into motion. How could you be unsafe when you've called upon the spiritual warriors to watch over you? Your prayers have activated the flawless protection of heaven. So ease your mind and all your cares, and concentrate instead upon your holy mission. That's my reminder to get quiet and to simply be still and to focus on what I desire and to allow myself to become, I'm being taken back to basics. No forcing here, just being taken back to basics. And so it is. I allow this. Thank you, beloved Artemis. Thank you, beloved self, for coming forth on my behalf. Okay, I'm going to sign off, and thanks for watching. If you actually managed to watch this whole thing, this is long, but this is what it takes to get aligned. You got to sit with yourself, man. Normally I do a lot less talking and I do a lot more writing, but I felt compelled to record this first part of my journey. And it's already 8 o'clock. I have to go to school today. I have to go to my class and go and do my inscription, my registration, and choose my classes and all this kind of thing. So I'm excited. So I'm going to get off of this broadcast and get back into my soul. All right, signing off for now. Bye.